Thanks for being here. I'm excited to be here. Again, my name is Gill. I'm the Director of Research and Data with Good Reason Houston. For those who don't know, Good Reason Houston is an organization that, through awareness building, working directly with school districts, and public policy advocacy at state and local levels, we seek to ensure that our pre-K-12 system sets every child from every neighborhood up with the knowledge, skills, and experiences they need to enjoy long-term success. What I'm going to share with you today are findings from our ongoing long-term post-secondary research initiative, which we really seek to understand how our students' experiences during their time in the pre-K-12 system connect to their long-term post-secondary outcomes. And when I talk about those outcomes, I'm going to be talking about two things primarily. First, post-secondary credential attainment, and second, our graduates' ability to earn a living wage, enough to support them and their families long-term. We did this project by connecting student-level data from across state agency data sources, K-12 data from the TEA, college enrollment and post-secondary completion data from the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, and wage and enrollment data from the Texas Workforce Commission. You're going to hear me talk primarily about the classes of 2016 and 2017 today, because we want to make sure we give graduates 6 years after high school graduation to assess how they're doing in their post-secondary outcomes. We really took on this project to deepen our own and our public understanding of how our system is currently doing at setting our students up with the skills, knowledge, and experiences they need to be successful long-term. We wanted to identify specific ways that our system can improve and concrete actions that we can take to give them the foundation they need for that to earn a living wage, to have the post-secondary credentials that we know lead to long-term success. The goal of this project was not to call out our education system, but to be solution-oriented, to identify real ways we can set students up for that long-term success. We see this as a way to build on and augment the work of groups like Bridge-Year and our school district partners through career technical education programs, because we know that those are the kinds of opportunities that our students really need to look into the future. I'm going to start by talking about a little bit about the problem statement, about what we're facing here in Houston. And then I'll share our findings, and I'll close by talking about some insights and takeaways from this work. So let's talk about the problem that we're trying to tackle and some big picture findings from our research. I think one of the really motivating stats that made us want to take on this work was this reality that by 2036, 70% of jobs in Texas will require some kind of post-secondary credential, education beyond high school. And when I say a post-secondary credential, I'm not just talking about bachelor's degrees or even about associate's degrees. I'm also talking about professional certifications earned at community colleges. So that's why I use this inclusive term credential, because I want to honor the very many different pathways that are available to our students. In fact, a significant chunk of the jobs in this statistic are what we call middle school jobs, which require education and credentialing beyond high school, but less than a traditional four-year degree. Helping young people develop the skills to do those jobs is exactly the space that groups like Bridge-Year and programs like CTE are intended to fill. But despite this reality, the growing need for education beyond high school, and that is only going to continue to grow as we look forward to the workforce of 2036, might be a little hard to see, but the proportion of millennials and Gen Zers who say you don't need a degree to be successful has been steadily increasing in recent years. So young folks, your mileage may vary if you consider millennials young anymore. As a millennial in my mid-30s, I don't know. But Gen Zers in particular, there's this declining belief in the value of a college education of any kind, even as we know that the workforce of tomorrow, the need for that education is only increasing. So that need is going to continue to grow, but the value is declining, and that's kind of the problem that we, with this project, we're trying to understand what our reality is, and then try to connect the dots to give students the skills and foundation they need to meet this changing reality. I'm going to talk a lot about the Houston region today, which at Good Reason Houston we define by these 11 school districts you see here, and any charter campuses within those districts. The need here is particularly acute for this kind of work because there are 700,000 young people in our public schools today. These students are overwhelmingly students of color and students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. And those students represent our Houston region workforce of tomorrow. The students that we need to give the skills and foundation they need to be successful to meet that 70% of jobs mark. So what did our research find? Our research had three main takeaways. First, far too few of our graduates right now are earning a living wage. Only 20% of the class of 2017 earned enough to qualify as a living wage 6 years after high school graduation. And that threshold, we use living wage thresholds from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. That threshold for Harris County for a single earner household with no dependents was $42,158 in annual salary. Only 1 in 5 2017 graduates made $42,000 a year. And second, contrary to popular perceptions that we saw with the declining belief in the value of college education, credential attainment remains critical to earning a living wage. Graduates with bachelor's degrees or professional certifications were at least 3 times more likely to earn a living wage than their peers with no post-secondary credential. And finally, our research found that an accumulation of rigorous academic experiences between 8th and 12th grade, such as meeting grade level standards on STAR tests, taking Algebra 1 in middle school, and taking 5 or more advanced courses in high school, provided graduates with much higher chances of attaining that post-secondary credential that is so critical to living wage earning. Graduates who took 5 or more advanced courses in high school were 22 percentage points more likely to attain credentials than those who didn't. And graduates who combined multiple rigorous academic experiences, those who passed STAR tests in 8th grade and took 5 or more advanced courses in high school, were by far the most likely group to attain credentials. So let's dive deeper into how post-secondary outcomes across Houston look right now. Again, the bulk of what you'll be seeing in the next couple slides look back at the high school classes of 2016 and 2017, so that we can give those graduates 6 years after high school to assess how they're doing. Here we see college enrollment rates in the blue and post-secondary credential attainment rates in the pink for the classes of 2012 and 2017 within 6 years of high school graduation. You can see that both college enrollment rates and the proportion of graduates attaining credentials was essentially flat over the course of the 2010s, and that barely 1 in 4 of our high school graduates attained a credential within 6 years of high school graduation. Looking at college enrollment in a slightly different way, this is within 2 years of high school, so the last one was within 6 years, this is within 2 years. I said college enrollment was essentially flat between 2012 and 2017. You can see there was fluctuation there. But generally speaking, college enrollment rates have been on the decline since the class of 2017. More recent classes in particular, 2020 and 2021, were far less likely. You can see that steep decline between 2019 and 2020, far less likely to enroll in college within 2 years of high school. And that likely reflects pandemic-related learning disruptions. We don't go to college at this point. And why do we keep talking about credential attainment mattering? Well, it's because only graduates with credentials came close to earning a living wage on average. Living wage just covers basic living expenses like housing, food, internet, that kind of thing. And you can see the gray line, that's that $42,000 mark I mentioned, the 2023 Harris County living wage line. Only graduates with bachelor's degrees surpassed that rate at a significant amount, but those with professional certifications were right there. So those were the two high-value opportunities in terms of your likelihood of making a living wage. You can see that the graduates with no credentials, which again is 73% of graduates. 73% of people are in that no credential bar. Only 20% of 2017 graduates overall earned a living wage. So those numbers aren't super encouraging. Really low credential attainment, only 1 in 5 graduates earning a living wage. So what can we do about it? Remember, the point of this project was to be action-oriented, to identify solutions. So let's look at how our latest findings on how 8th through 12th grade experiences connect to students' post-secondary outcomes to identify strategies to bring those numbers up. The following slides are the result of statistical analysis, which means they aim to account for factors that we know affect graduates' opportunities and outcomes, like their race or ethnicity, their socioeconomic status, their baseline academic achievement, or their English language learner status. Those are all accounted for in these numbers, so we can really try to isolate the effects of experiences in K-12 without all of those things influencing the results. 3 K-12 experiences stood out as increasing their graduates' chances of attaining a post-secondary credential. Looking left to right on the graph, you have meeting grade level standards on the 8th grade STAR reading, taking 5 or more advanced courses in high school, and taking Algebra 1 in 8th grade. All 3 of these rigorous academic experiences were associated with a significant increase in graduates' chances of attaining a credential, even accounting for those demographic and socioeconomic factors. In particular, the middle one, taking 5 or more advanced courses in high school, seemed especially beneficial. And I want to be clear, when I talk about advanced courses, I'm not just talking about AP or IB courses. The way the TEA defines advanced courses also includes high-level CTE courses, high-level electives, high-level foreign language classes. It's really an inclusive term that allows for the various pathways that our students might want to take. It's not just the high-flying academic students that are taking a boatload of AP classes. I know you might be thinking 5 or more advanced courses, that's a pretty high bar, right? Is that a realistic expectation? Well, over half of our graduates, 57% of the class of 2017, already met that. So I actually do think it's a pretty realistic bar. If over half of our graduates were already doing it in 2017. If we look at how these academic experiences work together, on the left in this graphic, you have graduates who did not take 5 or more advanced courses. On the right, you have those who did. Orange bars are graduates who didn't meet 8th grade STAR reading standards. The teal bars are those who did. So in direct comparison, if you had to only do one thing between passing 8th grade STAR and taking 5 or more advanced courses, taking 5 or more makes you more likely to attain credentials. But the most likely group, though, is those that did both of those things, that combined rigorous academic experiences. And so it's really that combination, accumulating these experiences, that our research found matters. And this graph, our report has a graph, similar one about the Alpha 1 experiences as well, combining those, and the story is exactly the same. It's that far right bar, those that did multiple, that really have the best opportunity, the best chances. And finally, one more time, why do we keep emphasizing that post-secondary credentials matter? It's because our research found that the single best predictor of earning a living wage was whether or not you had a credential. Even accounting for factors like socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, all those things I've mentioned, graduates with credentials were 17 percentage points more likely to earn a living wage than those without them. So that was a lot of information. I want to spend the last couple minutes reflecting on what that means. First, combining rigorous academic experiences, such as taking 5 or more advanced courses and meeting STAR reading standards or completing Algebra 1 in middle school, provides graduates with the strongest foundation for attaining post-secondary credentials. Second, with only 20% of 2017 graduates earning a living wage, school systems should expand access to these rigorous academic experiences, including grade-level STAR support, advanced math pathways, diverse advanced coursework, including advanced CTE coursework, to improve students' long-term success in credentials. Building off these insights, I think the research shared today has a few really practical implications. First, post-secondary credentials remain critical to long-term success. Again, there's a narrative out there about the diminished value of a college degree, and our research shows that if you want to earn family-sustaining wages, you really do need a post-secondary credential. Second, I think that our work highlights the urgency to work across sectors, education, business, higher education, philanthropy, to provide students with a variety of rigorous academic and professional experiences that will set them up for long-term success. And again, I don't just mean AP programs, dual enrollment programs at community colleges, although those things matter. Advanced CTE coursework aligned with high-wage, non-bachelor's degree fields are also an opportunity, so we should focus on building partnerships with industry and community colleges to enhance those experiences as well. And that's why gatherings like this one are so critical. The people here in this room are those that can really make a difference and help build those cross-sector programs that meet different students where they are and provide them with the experiences they want and need. And finally, I want to emphasize again that this work is not trying to send us back to a world where we're trying to take all students need a 4-year degree. I think this work, in fact, highlights the viability of non-4-year pathways and professional certifications, which is exactly the gap that groups like Bridge are looking to fill by exposing students to a variety of middle-skill career paths. Expanding awareness of and access to these programs, and especially tying those certification programs to relevant CTE programs in high school, is a critical opportunity for our research. I want to close by emphasizing the urgency of this work. Let's work backwards from 2036, when 70% of jobs will require a credential. If we give graduates 6 years after high school to assess how they're doing, we're actually talking about the high school class of 2030. That's only 5 years away. Those students who are in middle school right now are 8th graders. There are 50,000 8th graders across Houston today relying on us in this room to build systems and partnerships that can give them the skills, credentials, and experience they need to be competitive in that 2036 climate. The challenge is daunting, but it's also exciting. So let's use today's event as a springboard for the conversation and collaboration we need, our students need, to set them up for long-term sustainable success. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. Really excited to be here. I just want to give a shout out to my research and data team at Good Reason. This is a labor of love. Thanks for watching. So excited to share with you If you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at data@goodreasonhouston.org. Normally I would give you my direct email, but I'm actually on taking some time off from paternity leave. I have a 5-week-old at home right now. So you can't reach me directly right now, but in April you will be. I encourage everybody to check out the full report. There's a lot more than what I just shared in it, a lot more practical implications, a lot more data. I'm really excited. You can access the full report via that QR code or at goodreasonhouston.org/postsecondary. Thank you all so much for your time.